What instant coffee should you bring on your next camping trip? I just ran a blind taste test, and the results surprised all of us.
So A was...
What? On my last family vacation, I brought together 6 people. They did a blind test of 6 different instant coffees, all commonly found in local grocery stores. To keep them on their toes, we also threw in there a pot of brewed coffee. Each tester tried the coffee black, and then with milk, oat milk, or half and half, whatever they preferred.
If someone gave me this cup of coffee, I wouldn't think, why did they do this to me?
I thought it had a certain truck stop credibility.
Watching this, I hope you'll be entertained, but also have a real sense of what these different coffees taste like. And at the end, we'll give you our top recommendations. The first test was Starbucks. That's coffee A. Remember, none of the testers know what coffee they're drinking.
Coffee A had a really just fierce attack. Then I sort of started to like it.
Extremely bitter. The half and half was a great improvement.
I definitely detected 2 flavors. At the beginning it was meh. There wasn't really a lot of flavor, but there was an after flavor, an aftertaste that was really quite nice.
Before tasting, already the instantiness made itself apparent. And then it was followed by a dark and tarry afternote.
I thought that it didn't taste good. It was bitter.
My first taste was unpleasant. When I added the cream, of which I added a lot, it got a whole lot better.
Next was Mount Hagen. That was coffee B.
Coffee B is fantastically different from coffee A. It is got a very pronounced chocolate taste to it. To me, it's got a very, or nutty, it's definitely doing something that isn't strictly coffee bean.
It had some vanilla-like smells and some chocolate-like tastes.
It had a flavor that made me think of that moment when you open the jar and there's that piece of paper and then you break the vacuum seal and you just have that, I'm going to have bad coffee now, but it's going to be here right now.
Much milder than the previous coffee. A lighter roast, perhaps. In fact, it was so mild it was almost sweet. And I did not like it that much for that reason. I mean, as John said, it had a slight vanilla aura on it.
The nose is like a mild coffee, so quite good, natural tasting, flavor. A little fruity note.
This was really quite flat, and it felt very industrial in some way. I didn't like it either, and the milk didn't help much.
Yeah.
Next is Folgers. That's coffee C.
This one is really trying hard to be coffee. It's a sad attempt to be coffee, and when you put the milk in, it only gets sadder.
I found that I could drink, it was almost generic. Almost not coffee, but generic. And so I could drink any number of cups without feeling uncomfortable. I give it a 3.
It was less bitter than the first, but more bitter than the second. It wasn't very coffee-like, but I would drink it as a caffeine source. I give it a 3 as a wet beverage that would wake me up.
You know that feeling when you know something's horribly wrong with the electrical system in your car because you start to smell burning insulation? That's what it has, an actual taste of like plastic toxicity to it. I wish I'd saved my 0 because I didn't realize that it could actually be worse than the one I gave a 0 to. So I'm just going to give it another 0.
It was extremely weak. I didn't feel much flavor at all. And when I put in the milk, I didn't taste any coffee at all.
First, I was going to say, you know what it's like when the electrical system in your car is going out? And then he said that. And then I absolutely was going to say, what flavor there was not a flavor I want in my mouth.
Up next is Sigmatic's Think Coffee. I see it in all the grocery stores. In addition to instant coffee, it has lion's mane and chaga mushrooms.
Not bad. Definitely better than the 2 before it. It was one that I think took the milk well.
Coffee D was definite improvement over the last 2. It was okay. I didn't feel, my response was not negative. I wouldn't mind drinking it.
This is coffee D, and I thought it actually had that instant coffee taste, which I dislike. But harking back to the first coffee, to A, I realized that may have been a darker roast, which for John meant bitterness, but for me meant tastes like coffee.
Coffee D achieved pedestrianness. It wasn't actively bad anyway. It just had that sort of banal instant coffee flavor. And I agree. It actually, with a bit of cream, it actually achieved, I don't know, whatever a good pedestrian is, a jogger.
It wasn't as bitter as some of the other ones, so that's a thing to know about it. Once you added the creamer, that did deal with the acidic flavor, and then it was just bland and watery.
I felt this one was a kind of an honest instant coffee. It wasn't really pretending to be anything else. If I was camping and I thought like, it's instant coffee because I'm camping, so that's fine.
Coffee E was a last-minute ad. It was the leftover brewed coffee from that morning.
I actually like this one. It had a burnt flavor that, could be like bun-o-matic, truck stop, overcooked flavor, or it could just be like a really good roasty roast. I like my coffee on the fierce side, and I thought this was decent.
It came on strong. It did not feel excellent on my tongue, but compared to some of the previous ones, it felt better. I found that when I added the cream, it was tasty. I was drinking it like coffee again. So either my taste buds are shot, or my palate is adapting, or that was a pretty good one.
I was all ready to play the big taster and be creative, so I'd already written down insouciant, youthful, sassy, but it isn't any of those things. I have to use those adjectives for another coffee later. It was terrible. It tasted, as though it had been sitting on the bun warmer for hours waiting for somebody to come. It was sludge, tar, 0. I give it a 0.
That one tasted not like instant coffee. It tasted like real coffee of a type that I don't particularly like. There was a sort of a sourness to it.
I would describe that one as bad. It had both the acidic flavors of some of the early coffees and the bitter flavors of some of the early coffees. Yeah, there wasn't much redeeming about it. It wasn't watery, which is nice. It did have a full flavor, but I did not enjoy that flavor.
It was bitter. I didn't particularly like it, but it greatly improved. I think of all of them, it improved more with the milk than many of the others. The milk really made it much palatable.
The next one was Nescafé Gold, Coffee F.
Coffee F was that really quiet person who you kind of think, still waters run deep, and then so you sort of lean in, and then it turns out they actually have nothing to say.
This is Coffee F, and I found it rather generic, like C, but it was fine. I could drink it. There's nothing wrong with it, either with or without milk.
It had some promising smells to it, like a bit of nuttiness that could have been enjoyable, but it didn't taste of any of those smells.
It's thin, fruity, and not so good. But with creamer, it fades into a non-existent ghost coffee of just completely non-existent.
Okay, Coffee F actually was just fine, but there was nothing outstanding about it.
Now I'm kind of grading everything against one. So it reminded me of that, but felt a little bit more waterier. And I could see dropping some ice in there and turning that into an iced coffee. And because it was a little bit boomy at first, I feel like it would hold up against the watering of the ice melting down. But I think that would be potentially my choice for iced coffee.
And finally, Café Bustelo. That was Coffee G.
Ew.
Remember how when you were growing up and you were watching Love American Style or Knots Landing, and there would be those commercials in between where the handsome guy with the mustache would walk in and he would present the little instant coffee and he and the woman would lock eyes while they drank it. And it always had funny names like Vienna Gondola,
take me away
or
kind of thing.
Yeah, it had a name, and there were all these like flavored ones.
international coffees?
The international
The
coffees.
General Foods international coffees in the little tins.
The one thing I've always missed when I've come home from Europe are their deliciously different coffees. But now we can enjoy these coffee flavors right at home.
Yes, that. Remember that?
Yeah.
This tasted nothing like this. This like punched me in the throat. It was so angry when it went in my mouth. And then I put the milk in it. It was great.
It has a kind of a crystalline freeze-dried flavor. It's like for the person on the go, no other options, kind of backstop beverage. I give it a solid 2.5.
On first smell, I was worried. It had an acidity to the smell that reminded me of damp socks. But upon tasting it, I found it more enjoyable than I expected. It had a ashiness to it that reminded me of eating a piece of charcoal briquette, but not in such a terrible way. Like if you smoked a piece of fish for too long, or, you know, left something on your grill and it was a little burnt and you don't like it that much, but at least it has character. I enjoyed it more than I expected to.
First of all, the smell, it did not smell good. It tasted okay. It's not at all like my very first cup of Turkish coffee on the stern of a Greek ship sailing through the Mediterranean in 1959.
Coffee G, for me, had the biggest difference between the first taste and the milk. I found it most unpleasant. I really didn't like the taste. It had a kind of metallic, really slightly nasty flavor, and suddenly the milk really changed it big time.
Coffee G was the perfect coffee to end on because it kind of had the best of the worst of everything that we've had so far all mixed together. I'm not sure I'd even call it coffee. It had an organic kind of taste, like maybe like straw. It was a complex and interesting taste, not one that makes me think of coffee, but I was happy to go there in the end.
Right, we're gonna announce the order that the coffees were served in.
We revealed the 7 coffees.
All right, should I go? Yeah. Okay, so A was the Starbucks.
Wow, that's gonna piss you off.
That already did piss me off.
Oh man, sorry.
And the last one, Coffee G, was Café Bustelo.
Good job, guys.
Here's how the coffees stacked up in the end by the tester's preference. And at the end, I'll give you the final top overall.
My top 3, Starbucks, Café Bustelo, I guess the brewed coffee. I thought the Nescafé was in there, but I guess not.
So my favorite was the Mount Hagen. My second favorite was a tie between the Folgers and the Bustelo.
I was also the Starbucks, the brewed coffee, and the Bustelo. I'm, humbled in my biases. I mean, because I really did not want to like the one that I liked the best in the end.
My favorite was Nescafé Gold, and my second favorite was Folgers, and that makes me seem like such, I don't know.
My top 3 were the Starbucks. Number 2 was Bustelo. And number 3 was what's that?
The brewed.
Brewed coffee.
First of all, I was wrong about almost everything except for which one was brewed. My first choice was Mount Hagen. My second choice was the brewed coffee. And my third choice, it turns out, was the Bustelo.
Top ranked in the end turned out to be the Starbucks instant coffee with 16 points, followed closely by Café Bustelo with 15.5, and then Nescafé Gold with 14. But if I were you, I wouldn't base your decision on the total score. I would go back and I would listen to the individual reviews. They give a lot of color, and they'll give you a sense of which coffee might be best for you. What other coffees did we miss? Do you have favorites? I still have on my list to test the AeroPress and a new coffee from a brand called No Normal that comes in a tube.